Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Convos with Friends. And it's me, your host, Michael Shobuwale. And in this podcast, we just have conversations with friends where we just talk many things. We talk business, career, entrepreneurship, cryptocurrency, time management, fitness, and so on. We just talk everything. And today with me, I've got a special guest. I've got Ebuka Mordi with me. So, yeah, he's going to be talking to us about, freelance photography and his journey through it. And yeah, so Ebuka Mordi, can you introduce yourself better for us?
Okay. Thank you, Michael, for having me on this podcast. Really, it's a pleasure. I'm Ebuka Mordi, a photographer, Nigerian photographer, fashion and portrait. And I've been shooting for about 9 years now. So I think that's the summary of my story. But yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah. I mean, how many times do you get to say that? It seems like you have rehearsed the statement because someone asked me recently. They were like, I want to know who you are. And I was like, I'm Michael. And, I couldn't really express myself, like what I did and everything in a short time. But you have been able to do that. Like, how often do you say who you are,
Okay, the first sentence of what I say is it has to do with my niche in photography. So that's like portrait and fashion. And when I'm trying to identify myself in a photography-based interview, I'm definitely going to have to call out those two things. So I start with hi, I'm Ebuka Mordi, a portrait and fashion photographer. So yeah, I've had to say it a couple of times, but I guess I'll get used to it.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
So, but who is Ebuka Mordi behind being the portrait and fashion photographer? Like 9 years ago, yeah, that was what you took on. But have you always been that? How did you become this person who is now a portrait and fashion photographer?
Well, I think Ebuka Mordi is a creative person, and I had a different display of creativity 9 years ago that transformed into photography. I think if you can remember, I used to draw very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I don't think I can pick up a pen and draw again. I've not done it in 9 years, but it's possible that it transitioned into the creative mindset of a photographer. So it just morphed and everything. So I think Ebuka Mordi is this person who appreciates moments and wants to just capture that in a creative way.
Okay, beautiful. So you are actually currently into from freelance photography and everything. I'm just how did you begin? What made you get into it?
Okay, so apart from wanting to capture these moments, it became a hobby, which is trying to play with visual expressions to get people's reactions from it. So in general, it's just taking pictures, trying to go out of the box or think out of the box and creating something that evoke emotion or human response in a different way entirely. So I think this sort of moved into where I'm at today and sort of followed my passion when I had to develop a skill to satisfy other people's needs. That is photography in Nigeria, shooting people and everything. So, well, the career it took the normal journey process. That is starting from the bottom. Now we're here. Well, I don't think I'm here yet. So we'll still get there. We'll still get there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I want you to go through that process. How was it starting from the bottom, and how is it here?
Okay. So at the bottom, I didn't know I was at the bottom. That's the beautiful part of it. When you're shooting rubbish and then you have your friends who are always hyping you. So you don't even know, you're not even aware that you're at the bottom of the food chain. You're not aware that you're nowhere, basically, because you have people around you hyping you. I remember shooting some really horrible pictures. Oh my God. And now I think it's horrible, but then I thought it was the bomb. And I had people hyping me up as well. I think maybe photography wasn't that common in university, so maybe that's why people saw it and really liked it. And I think the hype was what I needed back then. But how the process was I started out with the list of gears, which is an iPod, and then shooting with an iPod, trying to get like myself to create images that stand out, and learning and focusing on my post-processing skills. I think that's like the highlight of my startup career in photography, which is post-processing. I tried to like make my images stand out, so I learned a lot of skills when it comes to like Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom. So that particular thing sort of got me an audience and got me like recognized by certain individuals and people and organizations. So this boosted my ego and my confidence in like the craft. And that's when I started like going all out, trying to get like these shots, trying to improve myself, investing more in my gear. And it took like a really gradual process because most of the income wasn't client based. Nigeria, our people know they appreciate photography like that, but most of it wasn't client based, but it was just more of like maybe minor passive income here and there. And the growth happened. I upgraded gear regularly till I started using more professional like gear, and still trying to better myself basically in the craft, and that's where I'm at.
I want to drag you back to something you said about.
Yeah.
You said you were in the university and you're just taking pictures of your guys. Like, is that were you like doing visual arts in university, or were you doing photography? Like, is that why your guys were contributing? Like, can you just go through that process for us?
Okay, I studied civil engineering, so nothing related to art at all.
Wait. You studied civil engineering.
Civil engineering.
Is your are you still trying to pursue that degree, or like what?
I think I'm done with civil engineering. Yeah, I think I'm done with civil engineering, but I studied civil, and it was, I feel like civil engineering was used to open me to new opportunities, like to just push me out there in like a different manner that I wouldn't expect. So yeah, I think it has served its purpose for now, and I'm fully like a photographer and just like professionally a photographer from now on. But yeah, I studied civil, and the photography thing was just more of this hobby. Maybe like Saturday mornings, I stroll out with my guys who also like were creatively inclined, and we just shoot like portrait. We just shoot, just have fun, you know that thing. And because they're my guys, I'm not scared of failing at something. I'm not scared of like errors. I'm just all trial, like just doing it as it flows, basically. But yeah, and I think that's just one advice. Maybe like if you're going to ask me for advice, this is just one. Really, shoot with your friends because you're going to just experiment and have fun. And at the end of the day, you're just growing. You're not scared of failing. You're not scared of doing anything wrong. But yeah.
Just to like ask again, how important was it for your friends to, be available to shoot for you? Like, imagine if they were in there. Like, how important is that to your career right now?
It's very important. I think it's way up there in the sense that I was an introvert, and I don't know if I would describe myself as an introvert now. It's not something like I would pride over, but like I couldn't talk to anybody in university like that, and I wasn't like outgoing to approach models or female models and just like ask them to model for me when I started out. So I had maybe two friends that I could easily, maybe a roommate and someone else, and maybe like a friend, a classmate that can easily just tag along. And shooting with these people, it gave me the room to learn. It gave me the room to like not be scared of failure. So I'm just going out to shoot, and I can practice at any time because they're always available. You get like, I know their schedule. I know that we're coming back to hostel at so time. How far? Let's get food and go back out and shoot. That kind of thing. And them being guys, they were also much faster in getting ready for a shoot and just like very spontaneous in it. So having that around me when I was growing up as a photographer was very, very useful because I could just shoot at any time. And that's one key thing in photography. You need to be consistent with shooting because that's how you learn. So I already had that part covered, and the only part left was just to shoot. So it made things much easier.
Um, maybe I should go on to the next question and just ask you, like, what exactly do you love about photography? I mean, you could have done anything in the world, right? You could have, done anything. But why? Like, what exactly do you love about photography?
I would say the fact that I get to capture moments. One thing about me is that I can get stuck in the moment. Like I take moments way differently than I think normal people would, in the sense that I'm just remembering. I've never said this before, so yeah, this podcast is very lucky to hear this. In primary school, I'm actually remembering that this was probably one thing that had to do with moments and my love for moments. I remember a teacher in my primary four always reported me to my parents about me losing focus in class, either playing with a pencil or playing with something. But I know that I was maybe like it was a rainy day, the clouds, there's wet sand, like the smell of wet sand, and maybe like the clouds are orange. And then I'm just so focused in that I'm actually not listening because I love the moment. I love like living in the moment. So that's like one of the major things that fuel this passion for me, and that's like one of the things that like keep me going. The fact that I want to share these moments now with people, like try and translate what I see in my head through photography to these people, and also I want them to experience the moment and be able to recognize it. So it's more of a sacrificial role in that where I'm shooting something like something that's going to happen only once, I'm not enjoying it. I'm trying to get it captured for other people to see. So yeah, that's basically.
But isn't that like also like what you hate? I mean, that means you will never actually ever be in the moment because you are just like. I mean, maybe you should just tell me like, what do you hate about being?
That's why I said that's the sacrificial thing now about it. Because
Okay.
I know how important moments are now, and I've already established that relationship with myself and how like moments matter. I'm trying to make other people see too and appreciate what moments are. And definitely there'll be a point in time in life where I've shared enough moments and shown relevance to these things, and then I just drop the camera and just live life. Yeah.
And I just to go again. This is one question I actually always have wanted to ask you. Like, how do you keep going on? That's the one I wanted to ask. How do you keep going on? You started, from the bottom. You had people, around you always, with you every time, and then you started to get gigs. You started to upgrade your gear. But how do you keep going on? I mean, after all, success is left, right, and center. How does a man like you, keep going on?
I won't be too motivational in this one. I'll just go straight to the point in the rawest way ever. What keeps me going on is the fact that I know that I'm not cut out to practice civil engineering. I don't want to. So as I've abandoned something already, like halfway in my life,
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere else. Will I start trying to get to a site now and start trying to design? I'm like, nah, I've gone too far. I'm way in like deep. I'm way too deep in like this thing now. It's forward completely now. But apart from that, I think what keeps me going is the fact that I enjoy what I'm doing. And well, at the beginning, for many people and a few other people, like they might not see the returns. By returns, I don't even mean financially. But I just mean like maybe reviews or see the impact that they have on their community. But I'm seeing it now, and I know that it's quite too late to give up because now I have like things to do. I have responsibilities in the community, and I have like a couple of things roles I play as well to making. I have something. I have a goal basically, and that's what keeps me going.
I was thinking I was going to hear like the money is a lot, so you can't you can't stop. But just to move on, like, did you have like when you started? It seems like you're just polishing the journey. Like you just went from I just started taking pictures, and all of a sudden I'm here. Anybody can do it. Just start. I want you to tell me about the worst experience you had. In one of the worst, because those ones always stick. They're the learning moment for you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. The worst moment I had, and the thing is, I bounced back from it pretty quick. But was I saved up for the Nikon D60, my first camera, and I used like my allowance. Back then, I was receiving allowance, so I used my allowance. I was barely eating throughout the semester and throughout like the year, and I saved up for this camera. I got the camera. It was like my dream camera. It wasn't my dream camera, but it was like the dream because I finally had a camera in my hand and I was shooting with this camera. I then invested in a lens also as well. I got like a third hand like lens, but I was using it. I was really happy with it, and this was my life. Like I had progressed from shooting with an iPod. I was very happy. And then one day, I was in the cafeteria and I had like my lens and my camera and like the other lens on the table. Oh no, it wasn't on the table. I think it was in my bag or something. But I know it's both of them fell, and and the lens broke. The camera lens broke as well. It was point zero because like when that happens, we're in Nigeria. There's no fixing of lens. I'm in school. The camera is basically gone. That's what it means. And it broke me. It broke me. I didn't know how to react that day. I was sad. I know that was like that was a really low point for me. I was really sad. And I remember putting out on my story that I was done with photography. I felt it that way, like I was done because I worked hard to get somewhere. I finally got there. And then something like that happened. Like, where do I start from? And someone reached out a couple of months later to sell her camera. A friend of mine that like bought a camera and she wasn't using it, and she dropped the price really low for me, really really low. And this camera was way better than what I had, so I had to just try and find a way to sell what I could sell from my old camera, give it out, and then gather some money and buy the new camera. So I think that's how I bounced back. But that's it, basically.
Oh man, like that experience is enough to just wreck anybody. Like I doubt many people can come back from that. I mean, and friends, man, they really really come in clutch.
They do. So,
Like, but I mean, you already talked about what keeps you going and everything, and I believe anybody that listens to this pod definitely has got something from this. But I want you to just like outline some things that you did, or rather, if you could talk to Ebuka Mordi 9 years ago, when he started, what would you want to like say to him?
one beautiful thing that I think I can use my chest and say is that I have nothing particularly to say to myself. Everything played out well. Everything was planned. Every person I met, every word I said led up to a moment. And I think the only thing I would have told myself is buy Bitcoin or buy. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I think I don't regret any step. And even though some days come where I'm unsure about like the future, which is normal because like we're living like a freelance life, which is we need to have something to hold on to eventually. I know something will come through because there's hard work involved, there's passion, and then there's a goal also. So there's really nothing I have to say to myself except for buy Bitcoin and yeah, buy board apes, buy like 20 board apes with with your parents' money.
Oh man, and it's so good. What about someone who wants to get into this freelance photography, thing? Like, the best camera you have is the one you have now. I think it's a popular saying in the photography world. But for you, like for example, like how would you advise someone to get in, to this space?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay. So I'll try and address myself in the light of maybe I'm talking to myself, a younger version of myself who doesn't know anything in photography, that is maybe Gen Z, that kind of conk Gen Z that is lazy to do anything. I'll talk to myself. What I would advise myself to do, or anyone that is most likely to be like who I'm describing, is to watch YouTube videos. Watch YouTube videos on creativity, on shots, on cinematic videos, on camera reviews, things that make you want to say God when. Watch many of those things. No, that's the truth. Like when you watch these things, even till now, I still watch some videos that I'm just like, immediately I watch it, and when I'm editing like maybe a YouTube video I'm about to release, I feel shitty about my video. I'm like, I want to delete this shit. But like, I think it's that feeling that promotes the urge to grow, the urge to want to grow. So when they watch things like that and they better themselves in their crafts, because YouTube is like the ultimate school. Honestly, it's free and you learn everything you want to learn. Just dedicate yourself. Till now, I'm still doing this particular thing I'm about to say. I watch 5 videos every day on YouTube. 5 videos every day. It's just a dedication that I've made for like the past few months now. 5 videos every day. So one is going to be learning a particular technique of editing in a particular software. One is going to be like a short video, cinematic video. One is going to be like a camera or gear review. One is going to be something else. You can't tell me in 1 year I wouldn't know a lot about photography because of like these little things I'm doing. So I would advise anyone that really wants to get into like the space to watch maybe like 2 videos per day. And the person will see that their composition is getting better. That when they are carrying their phone now to shoot something, they're looking out for a particular angle that they saw in a video. So it's always, it flows. There's nothing that wouldn't flow when you're doing that. So yeah, just watch videos and then go out and shoot. Be very, very practical about your photography. Just go out and shoot, always.
Yeah, that's great. That's just great. Like wrapping it up, learn consistently. I think they say the same thing with any other discipline. Like learn consistently every day, and practice what you learn. Afterwards, immediately. Don't sit around waiting for.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love this kind of conversations and just hearing from people from different disciplines, and you just see how like everything is all. You can always transfer the skills, everywhere. Discipline learned from here, you can use it anywhere in your life. And yeah, man, it's been so good talking to you. But just before you go, I mean, you can drop. And in case anyone wants to reach out to you, if you can drop like your social media or anything that they can reach out to you, to ask more questions and be like, yo, I want to do this. I want you to hold my hand,
Okay, so Ebuka_Mordi, that's my Instagram. Anyone can reach me there. And then for people who really want to learn and are willing to like invest into their learning, Skillshare, you can find me on Skillshare, just Ebuka Mordi on Skillshare as well. I'm teaching a couple of courses that help photographers that are coming up, people trying to like use their low budget gear as well, and then portrait photographers. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Do I get a cut from promoting your Skillshare? Just kidding, man. Yeah, you heard him, man. Like this guy he's doing really good stuff, man. He's teaching people like professionally. If you want to actually invest, he's got you. He has put up together a course, on Skillshare, and he's ready to share his skills. I love people who are always willing to share what they know. I love that, and I love it so much. I love what you're doing. Yeah, man. This nice episode, man. Great to have you. I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me.